Hello and welcome. I'm Brian Lee. So in this week video, I'm going to show you how to use the EQ plugin. Now in all the EQ plugin, basically you can find filters. They are pass filters, bell filters, and also shelf filters. Now the pass filters, you have high pass filter and low pass filters. Sometimes the high pass filter also called a low cut filter, and the low pass filter also called high pass filter. So let's take a look at this plugin that I'm going to use. Is a Studio One 2.6 built-in plugin called Pro EQ. Now I already opened it over here, so you can see that we have the low frequency, mid frequency, high frequency, and then we have the LC, stand for low cut or the high pass filter. We have a low mid filter and high mid filter frequency, and then we have the high cut, which is stand for low pass filter as well. And for all these filters, you also can see that some of it labeled as shelf 6 dB. So I'm going to explain what is this, and also you have the Q value. Now let's start with a drum track. So here we're going to take a listen for the drum track. So you can see that the frequency spectrum here. Now this one is without any EQing. Now, so if I want to engage an EQ, for example, low cut, so I can increase the frequency to cut the low frequency or let the high frequency to pass through. Now if I go to the extreme, you will see that my drum sound is only left the hi-hat, okay, and also a little bit of my snare. So now my snare is coming back, but my kick drum, okay, so I guess enough for the cut. So next we're going to look at is the high cut, which is the low pass filter. So if I engage this, and you also notice that now suddenly the sound is just like muffled, right? Because all the high frequency has been cut off. It means all the low frequency has been passed through. So what I'll do is that I dial this one back so that I retain back my high frequency. Okay, and then you can see that the cut is 12 dB per octave. So it's kind of a drastic cut. So if I want to retain my hi-hat, okay, so you can use that. Or maybe you want to have a hi-hat chime, okay, so that kind of a sound. So what you do is that instead of using the high cut, so I would be engaging the high frequency. So as you can see that I can boost the high frequency, and what you see is that I'm using the shelf 6 dB. So it means from here they are all remain as 6 dB boost, right? So if you cut, then you 6 dB cut. Okay, 6 dB cut. So if I want to hear more of my hi-hat, so I will boost a little bit on that. Okay, so that is for shelf. Now what about the Q value? Let's say I have a mid frequency. If I engage the mid frequency, okay, I can reduce or cut the frequency. So now you see that the cut is a very smooth cut, right? Just like a bell shape. So if I increase the Q value, so it became very drastic, like a valley, right? So this is very drastic kind of cut. So you may want to smoothen things out by lower the Q value. So again, this also apply to if you're boosting the signal. So now I have some clipping going on. So I just make a little bit cut in this area, the mid frequency, and make sure it's not so drastic. So I use a little bit of a Q value here. So there you have it. The high pass filter, also we call it as low cut, and we have the high cut or we call it as low pass filter. So get used to the term. Thank you for watching.